Welcome inside the Davis High School for tonight's matchup between the Farmington Phoenix and Davis Darts. I'm JZ Wister, so excited to be joined by Brian Priest for this one. And anytime you get a Region 1 matchup between Davis and Farmington, we're in for a great one, Brian.
Yeah, Region 1 is 6A, really good matchup. Third place and fifth place between these two teams. Second matchup of the season. Looking forward to this one.
Should be a lot of fun. Davis won at Farmington last time. Davis got out to a big lead early. Farmington came back. We'll see how each team approaches tonight's matchup. Davis wins the tip. Starting for Davis is going to be Ike Morgan, Caden Eggett, Alex Fisher, Colby Wicker, and Ike Morgan. Eggett's got it up top, feeds it down low into Fisher. Fisher tries to spin, guarded by Beatty. Beatty sends it back, but Fisher quick to collect it. Darts working around to the outside.
Good job by Beatty there to stay on his feet for the pump fake and get the block shot.
Wicker powers his way in, lays it up, and gets the soft touch off the roll. For Farmington, starting for them is going to be Cole Johnson, Adam Stuckey, Jaden Haskell, Paul Beatty. As the Phoenix work around on the outside, Beatty puts it on the deck. He's doubled. Stuckey kicks it in the corner. Triple. Johnson off the mark. We talked earlier with Coach Walkenhurt. They didn't shoot it well last time. He felt like that was one of the differences in the game that got them in that hole.
Yeah, definitely. Phoenix are looking to come out, shoot the ball well, hit those shots, and it's an interesting style difference between these two teams. Davis likes to shoot from outside where Farmington is inside. Those first two possessions, they went opposite.
They try to hit from the outside that go around. Fisher off the mark. Phoenix push it up. We remain at 2-0 in this one. On the drive, it's Larson. Larson out to Johnson. Johnson takes it in. No whistle. Looks to be a lot of contact. Ball on the ground. Kick it out. Beatty with it up top. Phoenix trying to work around. Kick in the corner. Shot clock down to 12. The triple. Buried! Big time hit from the Phoenix. And will reset something, but a nice hit from Jaden Haskell.
Yeah, Farmington doing a great job early in this one. Getting the drive and kick game going. A couple of corner threes. 1 for 2 this evening already as they lead 3-2.
There's a Davis team on the season. Overall 10-8, 4-3 in region play, a much different than last season. I mean, if you look at the previous seasons as well, as Wicker gets the separation and knocks it down. We already talked about the hot shooting of this Davis team that last go around. They hit 13 threes in that matchup.
Yeah, Davis, I mentioned that they love to shoot the three ball. They had a couple of players combined to hit 7 threes in that last game, Wicker and Alex Fisher. So they're going to be looking to put up shots from the perimeter as we got a turnover here.
Yeah, Aaron passed from the Phoenix that time around as Davis set to take it back over, but Coach Sims, simply put, one of the best coaches in the state, always does a great job getting his guys to buy in together. Just a different year when you lose 4 starters like they lost from last year's team.
Well, and you've got to, when you're losing that many players, you not only have to be able to get buy-in from the new guys, but you've also got to be able to implement the right system for those skill sets.
Wicker tried to go 2 for 2, couldn't knock it in. Beatty swings it out over to Larson. Larson on the drive, pulls up, offensive foul. Tough call, Brian.
I thought he extended the arm on that drive. I do think it was a good call. Maybe a little close. It could have gone either way, but with that extension, I got to agree with the official.
They had a great angle at it right on the baseline there as well. So Darts will bring it up, still 5-3, but still off to a nice start compared to last time. I mean, Davis had 21 point first quarter on the last go around, so already a much better job by the Phoenix trying to limit them early.
Yeah, defensively, Farmington playing much better tonight than they did in the first game.
Eggett taking advantage of the mismatch down low, and Stuckey can do nothing but foul him with the body.
So second foul of the game, first on Farmington, and it looks like we're going to have 2 free throws.
Yeah, Eggett going to the line. We spoke with Coach Sims before the game, and he mentioned one of the problems has been Eggett has just been getting into foul trouble lately. One of the dirty work guys for this team, always crashing the boards, tipping balls around, making the extra pass, and won't get that free throw to drop as it hangs up there forever.
Great environment here tonight.
Isn't it awesome? You gotta love it.
I got to call this the Dart Den.
Yeah.
Does that fit? It's the ultimate high school basketball gym. High walls, bleachers right on top of the floor. A fun environment.
I'm not sure what exactly that whistle was for, but I think Fisher did something that they weren't too pleased with. So either way, 6-3. Larson up ahead, or Johnson. Hands off to Haskell. Haskell tries to beat Stuckey. Stuckey swings it out. Farmington gets it up front, and the nice little floater drops in for Johnson.
Really good ball movement there for Farmington on that possession as they get the easy 6-foot floater.
Get it over to Fisher on the left wing. That's Zach Fisher, him and his cousin Alex Fisher. Another foul on the reach-in. We talked about Beatty a little bit, but Paul Beatty, one of the top players in the state, he's scored over 10 points in every game he's played since December 10th of this season. Just a dominant force on the inside, on both ends too. We've already seen him got a block.
Yeah, Beatty's playing some great basketball, 16.3 points per game this season. Also leads the Phoenix in rebounding, 7.1 boards per game.
Shot clock down to 30, one of the newer additions to high school basketball, but I think everyone would say a welcome one too as it speeds up play a little bit. They'll work her out to the outside. Morgan drives in. Morgan tries to dump it off. Eggett able to collect it and finish as he rips it right through Stuckey.
Eggett, great job to collect that loose ball and go up strong through Stuckey. Surprised Stuckey didn't get whistled for the reach there.
Johnson kicks to Stuckey, gets it back out. 8-5, Beatty driving, and we'll have an early whistle.
I like Beatty's game here early. He's a kid who obviously knows how to play down here in the basket with his back to the basket, but also has the ability to put the ball on the floor on the perimeter, and so it's a nice option for the Farmington team.
Yeah, more of a modern big, as we've seen some of these guys' games evolving over the course of the high school season. That floater won't go. Fisher there to collect it. Zach Fisher, one of the top teams for this Davis team, averaging 13 points on the season, 7 rebounds. And an assist, also gets his hands in there for a steal a lot of the time. On the roll, Wicker lost it, has to kick it out. They want to get Eggett. They really like this matchup. Eggett on Stuckey. They keep going back to it, and Eggett just throwing it around. Eventually collects the miss, and he's fouled again. Eggett just going hard in the paint.
Stuckey doing a good job defensively, trying to hold his ground, but Eggett just, far stronger than Stuckey, and it looks like that's going to be Beatty coming over on the help side, drawing the foul.
Would have been Stuckey's second, so in terms of that, I think it's okay. Eggett at the line. A little look at how Davis got here. Coming off, when you look back at since the last time they played Farmington, on which they got that 65-58 win. They beat Davis 82-55. Then they a tight one against Syracuse. They got outscored 42-10 in the first quarter, but then over the course of the game, they mounted the comeback. In the fourth quarter, they outscored Syracuse 18-5 to force the overtime, in which they were able to get a win. They got a tight win against Clearfield. Clearfield much improved this year. Then a tough loss to Farmington, and those losses to Layton. I know you were looking at that Layton loss in particular, back and forth one.
Yeah, I mean, for Davis in that game against Layton, really it came down to Zach Fisher just wasn't able to play his normal game. The leading scorer for this Davis team, and he really struggled in that game.
Yeah,
only finishing with 14 points. Sorry, JT, but it looks like we've got a travel here on Beatty.
Yeah, Phoenix got off to an all right start, but since offense has gone a little cold, now fortunately for them, they're able to hold the darts in check right now. And look, this is a Davis team too you look at their most recent game, we talked about the Layton one a little bit, only 5 points in the first quarter as we discussed. So just a team that wants to get off to a hot start, but Farmington doing a good job limiting them, and then hope when they can start to hit those shots. I mean, that was a 20-point game the last time these two teams met, as Morgan rises up and buries the elbow jumper.
I'm really impressed the way Davis, such a perimeter-oriented team, they're really focusing on getting the ball inside here in the first quarter, playing more inside out.
Speaking of inside, how easy was that for Beatty?
Beatty just gets down the floor quickly, sets up in position, and gets little resistance.
Darts, get it around. Now on the floor is also Caleb Taylor, the first sub of the game. We haven't seen either side make many moves. Fisher buries it, top of the key three, you bet.
And there's that first three of the game for the Davis Darts.
Johnson works around to Beatty. Beatty rises up for the long two, off the mark. Only Darts in the paint to collect it, 14-7.
And that's not a shot that I love to see from Beatty. He steps inside the arc one step and takes that jumper. I'd rather see him either move the ball with a pass or get to the basket there.
Taylor hands off to Atwater. Atwater only a sophomore, but has come up clutch so many points in the season. As that one's taken away, running the floor, Larson is fouled, count the basket, big time bucket, puts the Phoenix to their feet.
Cole Johnson, incredible finish, gets out on the fast break, takes the contact and finishes with the lay-in and looking for a three-point opportunity.
You guys might be looking at your screen thinking you're seeing double right now, but that is just Ben Stuckey checking in for his twin brother, Adam Stuckey, on the floor now for the Phoenix. But, I mean, there's been no timeout, so outside of free throws, we've just been going up and down. Got to imagine these guys are getting tired.
Oh, this game is moving. You love the pace of it right here in the first quarter. The fans are getting into this and having a really good time here in the dark den.
Farmington only scored 9 in their most recent first quarter. They played against Davis. Already matched that number here. Fisher puts it on the deck, gets inside the extra step, squeezes it through. Beatty.
And Zach Fisher, great job putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket for a layup.
Phoenix working around. Physical defense from Atwater. Trapped is Larson. Larson looking, spinning. Nearly a jump ball. Stuckey. Trapped. Shot clock down to 20. Beatty. Too strong. 16-9. Darts lead at just over a minute to go. Atwater dances along the baseline and floated with the turnover. He will. Stepped out of bounds.
Atwater with the turnover coming in today. He's averaging 1.4 turnovers per game, but when you're the only sophomore seeing consistent playing time on a varsity team, I think that's understandable, a little bit of growing pains.
Rebound battled around for, but Atwater comes up with it. Darts, slow it down. Morgan swings it over to Zach Fisher. Coleman Atwater in the corner. Just turned it over. Swings it over to Morgan. Darts in no hurry, and we'll have a whistle. Oh, a little bit of an offensive foul that time around.
Yeah, I think that whistle's going to go against Caleb Taylor, trying to set the screen there, moving on it. It's whistled for his first foul of the night.
7 seconds the difference between the shot clock and game clock, 39-30. Beatty works it out. Beatty looks. Over to Larson, back to Beatty. No rush if you're the Phoenix, a lot of time. Stuckey tries to take it in. And a tough foul that time, kind of called on Taylor. I mean, he was just kind of occupied space and turned into him.
Yeah, it looked like Stuckey was kind of out of control there on the baseline, but gets the benefit of the whistle there.
Yeah, Taylor, the junior forward, doesn't see a ton of time, so not surprising to see him remain in the game, as he was in danger of picking up a third foul there and looked out of control once again. But either way, turnover, Davis gets it.
And that's consistent with how this quarter has gone. Farmington could have held for the final shot, decided to put it up quickly.
Morgan stuck and turns it over. Coach Sims wanted the deflection. He won't get it. 11 seconds, nearly 12 to go in this one, and we'll see what the Phoenix can come up with.
Davis leading by 7 right now. Farmington with an opportunity here in the final seconds.
Yeah, want to get going a little bit more. Only 5 on it. Looks like it's going to be a tough shot for Johnson. Johnson doubled. And that won't go. So your end of the first quarter score, 16-9. Darts in front. 16-9 as we shift into the second quarter here on KSL Sports Rewind. JT Mr. and Brian Reese with you. We here at KSL Sports Rewind have you covered with games all across the state of Utah every Tuesday and Friday. Girls and guys games right here on your home for high school basketball in the state of Utah. Brian, what are your thoughts on that first quarter?
Yeah, really fun first quarter there. Fast paced, both teams getting up and down the floor. I think, as you mentioned, there was only one substitution that I remember seeing in that first period. Davis doing a good job starting inside, really depending on, that's Caden Eggett to set the tone inside, whereas Farmington, they started out on the perimeter. We'll see how this goes in the second period.
Johnson swings it over to Haskell. Haskell back over to Larson. Larson up top to Beatty. Stuckey tries to drive, creates the separation needed. Beatty can't knock it down. It's just shot not falling for him right now, but he's getting some decent looks, Brian.
Yeah, great wide open look from Beatty. You like to see that he took that shot without hesitation. Would love to see him follow it, though.
Nice cut from Stuckey, and the foul. He scores it inside.
What an incredible back cut there by Ben Stuckey. Sees the defense playing the three-point shot, cuts baseline, gets the layup and the foul.
Yeah, it was his twin brother Adam who got the start, but Ben coming in, and that, I mean, it looked like it was going to be blocked originally when he went up with it, but he was able to get it to fall, and he'll complete the three-point play. So 16-12, a reminder, once again, after our first quarter, it was 21-9, the first go-around between Davis and Farmington. Darts really shot the lights out on that one, but different kind of success early on as Wicker gets pretty much an open lane to the basket.
I mean, Davis leading by 6 right now, but more or less these teams have basically played even. There's been a few fouls on the Phoenix. That looked like the pass got tipped out of play. I thought it was off of Davis, though. Well, did Beatty get a piece of it?
I thought Beatty got a piece with it, which is why we saw this Davis sideline so animated.
Okay.
So I think one of our officials stepped in with the other angle, but obviously definitely some confusion there. But tough break after you give up a wide open basket to turn it over instantly, Brian.
No, I mean, you don't love to see that full court pass getting thrown away. Probably want to, if you're the Phoenix coach, you would probably want to see them protect the ball a little bit more in that possession, trailing by 6.
Work it over to Fisher. Alex Fisher, that is, in the corner. Taylor looking. Now overpowering his way in is Alex Fisher, and Fisher gets it to go.
Good dribble drive there, again absorbing the contact and going up to hit the layup.
Phoenix is trailing, got to figure things out. That helps. Nice physical move inside by Haskell, and the defense just fell.
Yeah, it looked like Alex Fisher got his foot stepped on and went down. Lost his balance.
Zach Fisher tried to drive in, but they'll get the bunt call against Beatty.
Yeah, well, we've got this whistle on Beatty. I wanted to point out, JT.
His second personal foul, too, on Beatty.
Coleman Atwater, as a sophomore, I really like the way he's playing. Not necessarily jumping out on the stat sheet right now, but he's just calm. I hoping he was going to shoot that shot.
Instead, he says, why settle for a tough 3? I'll get the 2 inside. Nice move from the sophomore.
But you see him go baseline, and he doesn't play like a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. Back to an 8-point lead. Phoenix working around. Beatty off to a good start. Haskell got 2 straight buckets.
So both teams having some success here early in the second period, getting to the basket, getting some easy layups. Still a 6-point deficit for Farmington.
Farmington staying in it. A couple tough runs from Haskell we're seeing right now. Fisher drives baseline, tries to throw it up, and hit the wire up top. Good call by the official to stop that one. Nice baseline defense from Beatty, and that's when we saw him get beat on earlier, too.
Yeah, really good job by Beatty to take away that baseline and really not give Fisher any room. Fisher tried to force it and get through, and I thought he had stepped out of bounds before the shot went up and hit the wire. So either way, it's going to be a turnover and Farmington ball.
Beatty to the bench with those 2 fouls. We'll see. He might rest the rest of the way, so it could be a big loss. But Haskell doing a good job providing some scoring. Stuckey twins hooking up on the pass. They'll try to get into Haskell. Instead, Larson drives, kicks. Stuckey settles, triple. Rattles out. Atwater with it. Atwater spins. Atwater, nice pass. Gets it to Fisher in the corner. Fisher whips it into Atwater. Darts moving the ball effortlessly. And knocking down the 3 is Alex Fisher. Coach Sims burns a timeout. Davis has it rolling.
Yeah, just great ball movement there by the Davis Darts. 3-4 passes. Get the open shot on the wing, and the Darts have opened this game up, leading 25-16.
Back here inside Davis High School, where Darts really starting to pull away around. No Beatty on the floor for the Phoenix. They were getting a couple buckets inside on offense, but having trouble stopping the Darts on defense.
Yeah, right now without Paul Beatty being available, the Phoenix are going to have to look to Jaden Haskell and Cole Johnson to score some points here in the second period.
Farmington settles for the 3. Nice rejection. That time rising up with a block was Josh McKnight. He didn't even play in the first matchup between these 2 teams.
Josh McKnight, one of the toughest shots to block in basketball is a perimeter 3 like that. But McKnight able to get the block shot without fouling.
Johnson set to inbound it. They're looking at Haskell. Instead, they'll bail out. Johnson steps back. Too strong. That's some tough shots they're trying to get. Phoenix breaking 3. Alex Fisher running the floor, but smokes the layup.
Farmington really needs to space better. That last offensive possession was not pretty.
Stuckey stuck down low, dumps it off, kick it out. Haskell. Huge 3 for Haskell. 25-19. Phoenix coming back.
Farmington needed that shot from Haskell. Really big play, cuts the lead to 6. 25-19.
How about Haskell? No points in the first quarter. He's now got 7 in the second, and still with 4:20 to play. Settling in for the three, Wicker. He gets it to drop. Connecting from long distance, Colby Wicker.
Colby Wicker from about 23 feet. Good shot.
Scoring really starting to pick up now, Brian, as Stuckey drives in. Stuckey tries to squeeze it, but the foul from McKnight.
Yeah, it's scoring picking up. Like you said, JT, we're not getting a lot of stops right now at this moment. Both teams getting good looks, getting to the basket, hitting shots on the perimeter. Now we've got Ben Stuckey going to the line for Farmington.
Stuckey with it. First shot rolls around and drops in for Ben Stuckey. Stuckey averaging 3 points per game on the season, 2 rebounds, but just one of those role players capable of doing a little bit more. We see there on the next drive.
Yeah, Stuckey is a guy that contributes across the board. He's not somebody who's going to score 20 points a night. He's going to give you, 10, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and just really fill up the stat sheet.
Phoenix get the ball back. It felt like it bounced all over the place. Haskell drops in, kicks it out to Stuckey. Stuckey loose with it, and his second time we've seen that push off called there, Brian, but that one you're not looking sure about.
You reading my facial expression on that one? Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that call. The first one, Stuckey definitely extended that arm, but there I didn't feel like he did. I felt like he was just trying to create a small amount of space.
6-6 in the foul department, 28-20. Farmington doing a good job getting back in this one. It was a much lower scoring second quarter last time, 11-10 the second quarter, won by Davis in their last bout with Farmington. This one, the scoring really exploded after we were in for a mostly slow first quarter. Wicker stuck, looking, spinning, and turns it over. Nice hands that time from Johnson. Johnson breaking free, running the floor. Originally had the numbers advantage, couldn't do anything with it. You mentioned the spacing a little bit. We see it come to effect there. Haskell spins and just can't get that one to fall.
And that possession with the spacing was much, much better. As you see, a good shot in the paint, 4 guys on the perimeter.
Wicker drives, takes a contact, leaves it short. Fight for the rebound, poked around. Last touch by the Phoenix, I believe. Oh, Farmington ball.
I'm with you on that one, JT. It looked to me like the ball went off of Carter Nordquist.
Yeah.
There were 2 darts and Nordquist right there fighting for it. And it looks like the Phoenix come out with possession.
Still 28-20. Haskell whips it over to Larson. Larson puts it on the deck, kicks it to Stuckey. Stuckey drives, has it bumped a little bit off his knee. Stuckey resettles in. Back over to Larson. Gets it over to Johnson. Johnson spins. Johnson has the mismatch, tries to take advantage. He can't. Atwater collects the miss. Atwater tries to power his way and hangs, floats, and can't get it to drop. Now Farmington trying to push the pace. Johnson kicks out to Haskell. Haskell spinning. Oh, excuse me, actually a travel on Nordquist.
Good defense there by Davis, putting some pressure on the dribble, and Nordquist not able to control it, ends up traveling.
Got to imagine some of these guys, Larson, Johnson, Haskell, are excited for halftime. They have gotten not much of a break, Brian.
Well, in this game, we're doing some math here, 14 minutes into it, but it's been fast-paced,
yes,
pedal to the metal since the opening tip. So yeah, I would imagine some of these guys are getting tired right now.
Especially in the second quarter. We haven't really had any free throws for these guys to catch their breath, so.
Well, the last 3 minutes, it's just been back and forth.
Yeah. The look inside, posting up Eggett. Eggett spins, stuck, looks, flips, leaves it short, collected by Larson. Larson running it up, Larson looking, tries to lay it up, and a rush shot, can't get it to fall. Davis with it, 2-on-2. Zach Fisher spins, stuck, kicks, Morgan buries it. Morgan from outside, and Coach Walkenberg is furious that there was not a travel. Driving in, and we'll have a whistle there. But Coach Walkenberg really giving it to the official on the side. It really felt like Zach Fisher traveled before he kicked it out to Morgan. And it says to travel on the other end, which is exactly what he is arguing for right now.
Yeah, Casey Walkenhorst not happy with that no call. Personally, I thought Zach Fisher did a great job keeping his feet and then looking at and seeing a teammate on the perimeter, wide open shot there from Ike Morgan. I think that's his second 3 of the period.
Yeah, he only averages 3 a game, but he always comes up with the big shots, and Coach Walkenhurt, gotta like that one, as the offensive foul is called on Alex Fisher.
So Walkenhorst doesn't get his travel, but he does get an offensive foul call against Alex Fisher. Fisher trying to set a screen there, freeing up a teammate. And I'm not sure who hit the floor, but Alex Fisher gets the foul.
This is a Farmington team 11-6, but struggled a little bit in region play, trying to get right. Won't do it on that shot there. Just under a minute to play now. Zach Fisher has the size advantage on Stuckey. Powers in, a back-to-back offensive foul calls.
You know, that one, I didn't feel like the defender was there necessarily.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you.
It's you know, the block charge call is the most difficult call in basketball for an official.
Yes.
Especially on a fast break like that. It's so difficult when you don't have position.
Absolutely true. Stuckey can't get it to drop. Dart's got numbers, but instead Wicker will hold. About an 8-second difference between shot clock and game clock here.
Davis slowing it down a little bit.
They didn't get the last shot last time off a turnover to end the first quarter. They'll look to do so here. They won't get it again. Fisher felt like he had a good look. Quick shot. Coach Davis already signaled for Atwater to come in, so if there's a dead ball, he's definitely going to be calling Alex Fisher. But with 18 seconds left, you're not going to be able to make a change, because Farmington, they are going to dribble this one out, much to Coach Walkenhurt's favor, and then Coach Sims' displeasure. 9 seconds. Larson drives. Larson hangs, flips. Won't go. Davis got to go. Fisher with it. 3, 2. It'll go if it counts. Oh, almost in. Just off the board. 31-20. What a fun first half, Brian.
Really, really fun basketball in the first half. You can tell that these two teams know each other. They're well coached, and you know, Davis goes into halftime with this 11-point lead, but you can easily see the momentum switch at the drop of a hat in the second half and see the Phoenix come back. So this one by no means is over.
Yeah, no Beatty for most of the second quarter and only trailing by 11. I think if you're Coach Walkenhurt, I think you would take that. So they got to feel good going into half. Apologies to our sponsors. We have had almost no timeouts, so no time for breaks, but we'll see if we will in the second. 31-20. Darts lead the Phoenix on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll see you after the half. Welcome back inside of Davis High School. 31-20. It was a fast and furious first half. And looking at the box score numbers, Brian, I think the biggest thing that jumps out is it's kind of the same thing as the first go around, and what both coaches, well, I guess for Davis, Coach Sims wanted it to go this way, making threes, and then Coach Walker wanted his team to also make threes. That's what didn't happen the first go around. This one, it hasn't really worked out in their favor. Farmington just 2 of 7 from the outside versus Davis is 5 of 9 from the outside.
Yeah, Farmington came out, their first 2 shots were threes, made 1 of 2, and they've really struggled since that moment. And I feel like overall Davis has controlled this game and really dictated the pace more than Farmington has been able to.
Darts working around the outside. Welcome sight for Farmington fans. See Beatty back out there on the floor. They'll feed it into Eggett. Eggett matched up with Stuckey. Eggett can't get it to go, but collects his own miss and finishes that one. We saw them attack that matchup early, and they go back to it again, Brian.
Yeah, Eggett, and it's always that right post where they get Eggett with the ball with his back to the basket. He does a great job working into the paint. Misses that first shot, but he collects the offensive rebound, goes right back up.
One thing that'll be interesting to see as the game wears on is how everyone holds up. Farmington with 3 players over 16 minutes played already. Stuckey in the corner. He sinks it. Stuckey, big time hit for Adams.
Yeah, you mentioned it, JT. Larson, Johnson, Haskell all played 16 minutes in that first half. It'll be interesting to see what the wind is like, how their legs are doing late in this game.
Johnson only 2 of 12 from the field, too. Really need to get him going with how they're trying to take away Beatty. Eggett stangled up down low, and then Stuckey commits the personal foul. That could be his 3rd personal. I have gotten him and his brother confused for foul trouble, but...
So 2 fouls there on Stuckey, but watching the way he's defending Eggett I would love to see Stuckey get his body on Eggett a little earlier.
Morgan showing the onions. How about that hit? Defense draped all over him, and it didn't matter. Morgan, how do you do? Swing it over to Larson. Excuse me, Johnson over to Larson. Larson buries the triple. Outside shooting. really picking up in this one. 10-point game.
Great shot there from Larson. So he hits the deep three on the wing. Third triple of the game for Farmington.
Wicker, he'll rise up. Can't get it to fall. Phoenix bringing it up. Larson tries to get it inside. Beatty waits and finishes up top. Nice move by the senior.
Really good look from Larson there on a fast break to throw that entry pass to Beatty. Beatty gets down the floor quickly and opens himself up for the pass and then hits the shot after the defense flies by.
This is a Farmington team that only had Mr. Basketball last year, Colin Chandler, with them. Beatty was really the number 2 option on that team as we see the foul from Haskell that time. But it feels like he's really settled in nicely to being the number 1 guy and gotten used to teams really trying to take him away. When last year, everyone just trying to take Colin Chandler away.
Well, I think you could see in the second quarter when Beatty left with 2 fouls, how the Farmington offense really changed and struggled without having Beatty to operate. He does a lot of catching and running the offense from the top of the key, and not having him in the game impacted them.
Swinging over to Alex Fisher. Now Zach Fisher with it. Fisher can shoot it from the outside, hasn't knocked any down yet. Both Fishers can, and we'll have a travel.
And that's the first call we've seen on that travel. There's been a couple times in this game where I thought a player might have picked up his foot before putting the ball on the floor, and we get that whistle from the referee here, a Davis turnover.
Leading scorers in our first quarter, at least so far, was 10 for Haskell. And speaking of scoring, how about that hit from Larson? Larson sinks it as Alex Fisher brings it up over to Wicker. 36-31, 5:14 to play. We'll go out to Eggett. Eggett with it. Wants to feed it down low to Fisher. Zach Fisher on Beatty. Looks, spins, tries to use the body. Strong defense. Coach Walkenhart wanted to push. I agree with him under the basket line.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been push there. No whistle. It might benefit Farmington.
Phoenix going off. The outside shot. Haskell knocks it down. Davis wants a timeout. The Phoenix are fired up.
That's 3 threes here in the third period. A pair from Braden Larson. And that 3 brings them within 2 points. They've gone from 11-point deficit at halftime to within 2, 36-34.
Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
They said it would take me 4 years to graduate. They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
We came into the third quarter talking about the shooting of Farmington. Just wasn't there in the first half. Only 2 made threes. Brian, they've already hit 3.
Yeah, 3 straight triples from Farmington. Jaden Haskell hits a 3 to bring him within 2. But it was Braden Larson with back-to-back threes. Larson did not attempt a shot in the first half. He has 6 points already here in the third quarter as the Farmington Phoenix storm back.
We saw Haskell have that 7 points in the second quarter, doing a good job keeping his team in it when Beatty went to the bench. Now we'll see how Coach Sims and his team settle back in. Atwater on the floor. Atwater hangs in the air, flips it to Fisher. Fisher, he knocks down the big corner 3.
So a whistle stops play as the net was stuck on the rim, but Davis with the answer. Fisher hits a corner 3. They go back up by 5. Back and forth we go.
Fisher's been quiet for a lot of this one too, so nice to see him get going from the outside. Wide open! Larson taking over!
Braden Larson, 8 points now in the third quarter. Beatty hits him on a great pass into the paint.
Wicker gets the screen from Eggett. Wicker wants to feed it Eggett. Eggett looking to attack Stuckey once again. Eggett spins, uses his body. Great defense from Stuckey. Larson running the floor. Larson looks, kicks in the corner. Open 3 for Larson. He sinks it. It was Johnson who brought it up, and Larson who knocked down the monumental shot. Take over, young man.
You can't stop Braden Larson. You can only hope to contain him. 11 third quarter points. That's 3 threes, and we got a tie ball game.
Tie game with still 3:30 to go, and they trail by 11 at the start of this quarter as Wicker calms everyone down, doing a good job getting to the line.
Farmington playing like a completely different team here in the second half with Beatty as a part of this unit. The 2 fouls in the second quarter really got the Phoenix out of sorts, especially on the offensive end. But they're playing great basketball here in this third period.
That Larson completely taken over. It was a great job by Johnson that time, running the floor and then setting the screen after kind of sucking the defense in. Great kick-out shot that time. 40 to 39, man, Brian. What a nice stuff. Man, this has been quite the third quarter.
It's a great basketball game. A little update on foul trouble. Jaden Haskell does have 2 fouls now for Farmington. Something to be aware of.
Could have nearly been a travel that time. Haskell, high finish off the glass.
Haskell splits the defense, hits a high floater. The Phoenix take a 1-point lead, JT.
Wicker looks, kicks to Atwater. Atwater so many times this season, especially I remember the game against Clearfield I was at, he's been the one to calm them down. We'll see if he can do so here. Turnover! Larson's got it. Larson looks, hands off. Beatty hangs and can't finish. Ball tapped around, but eventually Darts collected.
Wow, Zach Fisher throws that pass away. It leads to a fast break. Fisher doesn't give up on it. Gets back on the defensive end and does just enough to cause a miss from Beatty.
Pull up, Wicker. Just a miss. What do you think Coach Sims needs to do to get his team more settled in? We already saw him burn one timeout, but they really haven't been able to get the momentum back.
Well, I mean, Davis just hasn't been able to get their offense going. I think right now your best offense all night has been Eggett in the post, and that's where I think you go.
Beatty spins, looks, fades, gets the friendly bounce. Paul Beatty dropping in.
Everything going Farmington's way. They lead 43-40, a 14-point difference here in the third period. There's 2 minutes left to go.
Unbelievable so far what we're seeing from this Phoenix team. I can't imagine what Coach Walkenhurst said, but whatever it was, seems like these guys are ready to run through a brick wall.
You hear this crowd, you wouldn't know we're at the Davis gym.
Fisher shot off the mark. Great fight for the board, but that's the danger of trying to save it under your own hoop.
What's the rule? You never save a ball underneath your own defensive end.
I love the effort, but just wanted to let that one bounce next time. 1:48 to go in our first quarter, and what's been just an unbelievable turnaround. 3 points the difference, 43-40, and Fisher traveled.
Fisher asking for a foul call. I thought it was good defense. Stuckey stayed on his feet, hit Fisher with his chest, but kept the hands up. This has been an electric second half so far.
Johnson can't get it to fall, but hits the deck hard. Foul whistled.
I think that foul's going to go on Caden Eggett, I believe. No, that foul, I don't think it'll be on Coleman Atwater. So Atwater is first.
A lot of bodies bouncing around there. Haskell in the corner. Phoenix looking to take what would be a 6-point lead if they can hit from 3, or if they get it inside. A lot of contact from Eggett that time. Maybe he can't get it, but he is not happy. He turned to the official and said something.
No, Beatty not excited about not getting that call. Felt like he got pushed as he was trying to make the catch on the pass.
Coach Walker really letting the officials have it. We've seen both coaches now get into it. Atwater hangs, kicks to Ike Morgan. Morgan spins, Atwater over. Wicker, he'll take it. Rattles out.
It's a right pass by Atwater. Wicker just can't finish.
Haskell connects! Haskell hits the huge three. Farmington going nuts. Morgan drives baseline spin, and we get the contact. What a shooting display from the Phoenix. Truly reborn from the outside in the second half.
Rising from the ashes with 5 third-quarter threes. The Farmington Phoenix taking it over. Now they lead by 6.
Atwater over to Morgan. Morgan can't get it to fall. Tough shot that time. I'll see who the foul's against. I believe it's against Farmington. Coach Walkenhurst is outraged. It looked like a good box out from Stuckey.
You said that looked like a good box out, right? That's what I saw. I thought Stuckey got his body on Fisher, just did a great job boxing him out. It kind of reminded me of the play in the blind side where he blocks the defensive end over the wall. He's playing to the whistle, but Stuckey gets the short end of that stick and gets called for the foul.
So Stuckey goes to the pine for Stuckey. Ben Stuckey back in for his twin brother, Adam Stuckey. Atwater wanted to get it inside to Eggett, not a lot of space. Shot clock and game clock difference, about 8 seconds we'll call it. 29 seconds left, shot clock down to 20. We'll have another foul, and Coach Walkenhurt and the entire bench of the Phoenix is just outraged.
After a really physical first half where it felt like the refs overall were just letting these two teams play, it seems like they're trying to rein this in a little bit right now in the third period, and neither coaching staff is happy.
So coaches with experience too. Coach Sims, 9 years overall, 164 and 50 record. Coach Walkenhurt, 74 and 42. And at this point, we're in the bonus, so Eggett's going to the line. His team trailing by 6. He knocks down the first of the 1-and-1 shots.
So Caden Eggett hits that first free throw, trying to bring his Davis team back as they trail by 5 now, 46-41. Darts held an 11-point lead after the first half.
4 points the difference. As much as things have not gone Davis's way, they're only down by 4. Now, one thing Farmington has done a good job of is holding for the last shot. Let's see if they're able to do it here. It's Johnson with it. Over to Stuckey.
Like to see him go at about 8 seconds.
They'll do exactly that. Haskell looking. He's stuck. Bounces it inside to Beatty, but a foul as he was bumped.
And so Beatty trying to catch that pass. Looks like he got hit from behind. It's going to be an out-of-bounds play here for Farmington. So overall, I'd call that a good foul by Davis.
Cole Johnson struggled early on, but him and the Phoenix really come to life. Johnson doing a great job being more a distributor too in the second. Haskell pumps, rises. He buries it! Haskell says hallelujah and knocks it down. 48-42 after 3, Brian.
What an amazing first quarter for Farmington. They're scoring 20 points in the first half. They scored 28 points in the third quarter to take a 6-point lead into this final period. Absolutely incredible basketball. And this environment, and Farmington crowd going crazy.
It's absolutely insane in here. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a brief break and then come back for more action in fourth quarter time on KSL Sports Rewind. What a third quarter we just witnessed from the Phoenix, and in particular, Brian, Braden Larson and Jaden Haskell.
The Braden and Jaden show as they combine for over 20 points there in the third quarter, 28 total for Farmington as a team. And they turn an 11-point deficit into a 6-point lead.
Haskell drives Beatty. Buries it from the top of the key, and he is fired up.
Everything going right now for Farmington.
And nearly had the turnover, that takeaway that time too, as they almost stripped it off of Davis. Man, it's amazing. I really felt like that first game, Davis really took over Farmington's house, and in this game, it's the Phoenix who have taken it over here at Davis High. As that time, it looks like we'll have a foul called against Johnson. I know he's frustrated, but I felt like that was a fair call, Brian.
Yeah, I think so. Cole Johnson trying to fight through that screen of Caden Eggett. He gets whistled for the foul call. And the one thing that you don't like to see about that is there's really no reason to fight through a screen so physically in the backcourt.
Especially when you're already up. That was the 8th foul now. So we're closing in on double bonus territory. And man, Farmington really going to have to be careful the rest of the way.
Well, and that's 3 fouls now for Cole Johnson as well. So I wouldn't call it foul trouble in the fourth quarter, but if he gets one more, you got to start thinking.
Trying to make it an 8-point game. Or excuse me, make it a 7-point game. Morgan gets it to go. 51-44. This is a Farmington team that, as we mentioned, they're 11-6, but they are under 500 in region play with a couple of tough losses. Stuckey fighting for it, collecting. Larson drives, looks, hangs, tries to feed that pass into Beatty. Nice job by Fisher to get a hand in.
Yeah, good defense by Fisher, and Larson probably should have thrown a bounce pass there to Beatty.
Fisher looking, tries to drive on Stuckey. He has the mismatch. We'll see if they decide. Looks like they're not going to work it back over to his side, though. Atwater driving baseline and dribbles off his knee.
Let's see on that last possession, Davis extended their defense a little bit. Three-quarter court token pressure. We'll see if they continue as they trail here in the fourth. Looks like they are going to go back into the half court.
Then Stuckey over to Haskell. Haskell looking. They wanted to get Larson on the back cut. They got one of those easy ones to him in the third earlier. Stuckey looking over to Beatty. Beatty rises. Atwater collects the miss.
Atwater does a good job pulling down that rebound, slowing down the action, gets it to Ike Morgan.
I mentioned earlier, Phoenix, maybe will they get worn out? They played so many minutes. At this point, defense just parts for Morgan's easy layup. But going back to what I was saying, at this point, I think momentum's just taking, and adrenaline's taking these guys the rest of the way, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. You're leaning on momentum right now, and you're not going to get tired as the ball goes out of bounds off of Haskell. Looks like Davis knocked that out of play, though, so it'll stay here with Farmington.
Starters on the floor for both teams at the moment, out with the exception, starters are on the floor for both teams. Beatty off the mark. Stuckey tried to poke it away. Had Eggett open, but just couldn't see him in time. But we've seen a couple full court pass turnovers, so maybe not a bad decision there either, Brian.
When you're trailing by 5, you can't afford any turnovers right now. You got to take care of the basketball.
Morgan nearly did there. He was stuck for a moment. Fisher fighting, looking. He's trapped. Gets it out to his cousin, Alex Fisher. Alex Fisher back with it. Alex Fisher driving baseline. Nice hands that time from Larson.
Good job knocking it out of play by Farmington. And this Phoenix defense doing a much better job here in the second half, taking away Caden Eggett's post game. And it really just stopped Davis from being able to get him the basketball at all here in the late in the third quarter or early in the fourth. We'll see if they can get back to that.
I talked with Coach Casey Walkenhurt before the game, the Phoenix head coach. He said he wanted to see more from his team defensively, and man, has he in the second half. Offensive foul. Fisher hit with another illegal screen. A lot of offensive fouls going against Davis.
And I think that one is probably a little bit ticky-tack, but if you're looking at the tape, that's probably Ike Morgan's fault for going a little bit too quickly before that screen was set.
Haskell over to Beatty. That's the crazy thing is they have the lead, and Beatty's been good, but I mean, at their third best player since the third quarter, basically.
Well, that's what's been interesting for Farmington is all three of their best players have been taking over in the second half between Larson, Haskell, and Beatty. If you're Davis, you got to figure out a way to take away at least one of those guys.
Yeah, they've limited Johnson. We talked about some of his troubles, and he's done a good job really just recognizing, hey, I don't really got it tonight. I'm going to work it around, and had numerous assists in that third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw Cole Johnson looking at his first half numbers, 2 of 12 in the first half. So understanding, I don't need to force shots. I've got other guys who can score.
Got to imagine Coach Walkenhurt was imploring Larson to be more aggressive as well.
Oh, without a doubt. No shots in the first half. We saw 3 threes in the third quarter.
Eggett whistled for the foul. Beatty just battling tough inside.
Yeah, Beatty, I don't think Beatty has a strength advantage with Eggett, but he's got a little bit of a size and length advantage, and you just saw him working, keeping the dribble alive, couple of pump fakes, gets Eggett off of his feet, and then draws the foul.
46-51, scoring has dried up a little bit in this fourth quarter. Beatty knocks down the first free throw.
A clutch free throw there from Beatty as he's looking right into his own student section. Probably kind of a benefit as a visiting team here in the Davis start end.
But he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Could be a costly miss. We'll look back on it later. Just over 5 to play. Morgan looking. Wicker thought about the 3. Instead, he puts it on the deck. Wicker hangs. No shot. They won't count it, which I agree with. Definitely was trying to go for that NBA continuation, Brian.
Yeah, I think if this is a different league, he might have gotten that call. But that foul definitely on the perimeter as he's putting the ball on the floor.
That's what's hard, too, is every Farmington foul, and time is on Farmington's side, so when they stop time, that's the opposite. But you got to knock down your free throws still, and Wicker couldn't make it.
I mean, am I off base feeling like this 6-point lead feels like it should be bigger right now?
Wicker takes it away. Wicker wide open. Lays it up and in. Tough turnover for the Phoenix. But it does with the run they went on, to your point. It just feels crazy, and we'll see Coach Walkenhorst burn a timeout. Both teams needing to settle in. 48-52 with 4:34 to go. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind. Fourth quarter well underway, 48-52. JT Wistersell and Brian Reese here. And Brian, what do you think was the discussion by Coach Walkenhorst and his team since they had the 4-point lead?
Yeah, Coach Walkenhorst is telling his team, you got to calm down. You're playing your offense and just make sure you're protecting the basketball. You've been dominating this entire second half. You don't need to change anything.
Stuckey settles in with it. What was it, 28 in the third, Brian?
28 third quarter points.
Jeez.
With at least 5 threes. It might have been 6.
Unbelievable numbers. And we saw Haskell, the one who buried the buzzer beater, nearly turns it over. He will. Fisher collects it. Davis wisely slowing things down.
Alex Fisher forces the turnover. Davis trailing by 4 with the opportunity to cut into this game.
Morgan sees the path to the lane. Fouled. But I thought he was going to get the bounce, but he's going to the line for 2 shots.
That's twice in a row Cole Johnson's gotten beat off of the dribble easily for a layup or a foul on this particular play. Cole Johnson's got to be playing better defense late in this game.
Yeah, Coach Walkenhorst not happy at all with them that not go around. This is a Farmington team that they had back-to-back home losses. When you learn about that Davis loss as Morgan sinks the first, then they lost at home late, but then got it going when they took on Syracuse at home, then went on the road, beat Weaver, were able to beat Clearfield too, but then it's coming off a tough loss to Fremont. Fremont's been really good all year long. How would they respond in another tough and road environment? In the first half, not great. In the second, outstanding.
Yeah, second half, it's almost like in the first half they were able to get the book and see who Davis is going to be tonight. And come out in the second half, you get Beatty back on the floor, and they've really controlled the action.
Nearly a turnover as Beatty was unsuspecting of the ball. Beatty powers it up, and a foul on Eggett. I believe they got him with the body.
Yeah, it looked like Eggett on the floor with the foul there. Beatty's going to get 2 more free throws. That's 4 fouls now on Caden Eggett.
Eggett's always someone who flirts with foul trouble, and Coach Sims talked about it. Hey, we haven't been able to have him out there, and you got to imagine we want to have him out here for that stretch run.
Yeah, that was the first thing that Coach Sims said when we talked to him before the game was Caden's had some foul trouble the last couple of the games, and we really need to keep him on the floor. So 4 fouls with 3:50 left could be tough.
So many teams, their center's a liability at the line. Not for the Phoenix. Beatty, 4 for 4 in this one.
Big man can shoot too.
Darts working it, trying to throw it up on the lob. The length of Beatty deflected it. Phoenix running the floor. Stuckey, wing. Nearly went in. Fight for the rebound. Beatty comes up with it again. Beatty looking back to Stuckey. Back up top. Johnson dribbles it out, resets.
Really smart play from Beatty. I thought he was going to try and go up through 2 defenders there after the offensive rebound. Good to see him kick it out.
And with the threes really not coming on as much, Beatty's really been able to take over, it feels like.
Yeah, I saw the first half of that third quarter was Haskell and Larson. Now it's been Beatty for the last several minutes.
Big man got game. How about those moves? Looking like a point guard. Knocks down the mid-ranger.
A 16-footer from Beatty.
Farmington students really getting it going in here. 56-50, 6-point game. Under 2:50 to play. Morgan spins, hangs, stuck. Kicks to Wicker. Back over to Zach Fisher. Eggett with it now. Back up to Alex Fisher. Shot clock down to 15. Wicker looking. Wants to screen from Fisher. Wicker drives. Looks, 4 on the clock, 3. And he won't go. And Farmington comes up with the rebound.
Wow, big miss from Wicker. I thought he had a good look at that shot. Comes off the rim. Farmington now with it. 2:15 left on the clock. Phoenix up by 6.
Stuckey back out to Beatty. Beatty's really close strongly. We'll give this one up. With it up top is Johnson. Johnson tries to squeeze it in, and there was a foul committed, and I believe that'll be the 7th, so we got free throws coming.
You know, one thing that has got to be a great benefit for Coach Walkenhorst, having Beatty, those long arms. He's a kid who can get a shot off over a lot of defenders that other kids might not be able to.
We saw him tip that attempted lob pass to Fisher on the other end, too.
Yep.
Came up with some huge offensive rebounds, and then he your point, too. Just defense can't even phase him on that step back there because he just sees right over him.
Yeah, it just seems like he's always in the right spot. He's been playing under control, especially here in the second half.
8-point game, 2 minutes to play. Coach Walkenhurst burns the timeout. We will as well. 2 minutes to go, 58-50. Phoenix looking to complete the comeback against the Darts on KSL Sports Rewind. Back here inside Davis High School, where the Phoenix just looking to complete what would be just an incredible comeback. I mean, they had 20 points at halftime. They're 2 points away from a 40-point second half, Brian, and we still have 2 minutes to play.
I mean, you put 28 points on the board in any quarter with 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. Yeah. That's impressive.
They got it done from the outside. Darts are going to need to get it done from the outside if they want to get back into this one. Fisher, trapped, looking. Kicks it to Morgan. Morgan post, spins, he's stuck. Get it up top. Alex Fisher knocks it down. Huge triple for Fisher. Davis wanted to turn up the pressure, but he nearly gave up a wide open layup in the process. Farmington will reset. Beatty's got the mismatch on Morgan, but they can't take advantage of it. But you mentioned they like to run their offense through them. They'll get other guys involved.
Well, in Farmington, it looks like they're definitely going to focus on running the clock right now and playing that advantage.
Haskell looks. Beatty kicks it over. 7 on the shot clock. 5. Haskell and the foul! Jaden Haskell! Huge basket at the rim.
That layup from Haskell could put this game out of reach. We'll see if they can hit the free throw, complete the three-point opportunity. But Haskell has been terrific tonight, putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket, and finishing through traffic for this Farmington Phoenix team.
I can't imagine Coach Walkenhurst wanted to draw it up any better than that. Lead the clock down to single digits and get a three-point play.
Absolutely perfect possession when you have a lead late in the ball game.
61-53. Wicker drives, looks, and the contact. Coach Walkenhurst is in that point of frustration at the officials where he just laughs.
Yeah, that's when you know it's been a fun game, when the coaches aren't even upset anymore. They're just kind of laughing and turning their back. But on that call, I did feel like Stuckey was guilty of a push there on Wicker. And it's unfortunate for the Farmington Phoenix, but Davis able to get to the free throw line. They have an opportunity to put points on the board without the clock running right now. Really big free throws here for the Darts.
Coach Walkenhurst really talking things over with Carter Nordquist, who's about to come in, the junior, gonna see minutes, while Stuckey is forced to go to the bench. But an outstanding game for Stuckey. Box score might not show, but hit a couple big shots and just battled hard all night defensively.
Well, all I know is I hope that Ben Stuckey and Adam Stuckey, I hope they have a good ice maker at home, because they have been getting pounded in the post by Caden Egan. It's been a physical game for them.
He has been physical, and it's something that's something they did a good job taking away too. Egan, we saw him score inside early. Since then, haven't called his name as much. Wicker with a couple late baskets, but him as well. Just a phenomenal job by the Phoenix defensively, and it's hard to point it to any single thing, but just feels like they really just did a better job executing in the second half, Brian.
Well, Farmington's just done a great job adjusting and being able to come out in this second half and play their brand of basketball. I was surprised in that third quarter. Typically, Farmington, not a team that likes to shoot a lot of threes or relies on that game. They exploded in the third, and that's carrying them now into the fourth.
This is a Davis team that's 10-8 on the season, but if you look at the previous seasons, last season just 2 losses, before that 4 losses, the year before that 2 losses. It's just hard when you lose a team that had 4 starters: Max Painter, Eyrig, 2, Sims, Sunderland, and the year before that, Chance Trujillo. Like, this is a lot of guys that have to replace, and I think it's why you've seen so many inconsistencies. Like the first half, great for Davis. The second, a lot to be desired.
But these games are great learning experiences. Even if Davis ends up coming up on the short end of this one, you've got an opportunity for kids to come in here in your home gym, playing in a pressure environment, and you get some really good reps going forward as you're building this team, and you start looking towards the state playoffs and region finals and stuff.
And what's crazy is too, it's only a 6-point game, so all it takes is 2 stops and 2 threes, and they'll be able to get it done. Now, they're going to probably have to get some missed free throws and some turnovers in order to make it happen, but crazier things have happened here. Haskell can run the baseline. He's about to inbound it. See what Coach Walkenhurt drew up.
I'm glad you mentioned that, though, JT. It's kind of easy to lose track. This is just a two-possession game right now.
Good job by Larson getting out of the double. Or excuse me, that was Johnson getting it over to Larson. And Morgan forced to foul that time rather than give up the potential fast break opportunity. Huge free throws coming up from Braden Larson, who, I mean, him, Haskell, and Beatty feel like they'd have to share the player of the game honors, but each one of them been instrumental in the comeback, and Larson with a chance to put kind of the nail in the coffin if he can knock both these down early.
Without a doubt, all three, Beatty, Haskell, and Larson, have all played an instrumental role in this game for Farmington as Larson hits the first free throw.
That was huge too. Makes it a 3-possession game, and we're going to see Ben Stuckey come back on after Adam fouled out.
So I would imagine from here, Farmington, you're going to drop your defense back and just worry about the half court. The last thing you want to do is foul a three-point shooter at any point. And if you're Davis, you have to foul as soon as Farmington has possession.
8 points the difference. Wicker, about 45 seconds left. Wicker looking. We'll see if he tries to force a three. Over to Fisher. Davis has got to go. Wicker driving on Beatty. And tough calls. Beatty whistled for the foul.
The Darts eating up a lot of time on the clock there, but fortunate to get the foul call heading to the free throw line. 2 more free throws, a chance to score without the clock running. So not what you want to see if you're Coach Walkenhorst for the Phoenix. Definitely didn't want to foul on that possession.
Not at all. Wicker misses the first, and they've left some opportunities at the free throw line in this second half too.
They have. Davis has missed a few free throws here. Haven't been able to capitalize down the stretch in this game, and it makes a difference in an 8-point game. You hit a couple more free throws, this is totally different.
Then Wicker gets the second to fall, 56-63. Davis nearly got a steal there. They'll try to trap down low, looking, get it over to Beatty, and Beatty flings it ahead. And Davis has to foul again. Great job by the Phoenix on back-to-back possessions, beating the press. And that one looked a little more testy, risky than the previous one, Brian.
Hey, that inbounds pass looked like it didn't have a whole lot on it. Almost got taken away, but Farmington able to get the ball into the front court and draw the foul. Davis looking to stop the clock and extend this game.
Back to the line is Larson. I mean, he's working on, and I don't know if he's got 20, Brian, but I mean, he's easily got over 15 now.
I'll be interested to see the final box score and see if it's Beatty or if it's Larson that ends up leading Farmington in points today. They've both had, I mean, Larson's had a great second half, 11 points at least in the third quarter, several free throws now in the fourth, but Beatty's been the offense here in the last 8 minutes.
The difference is now 9. Darts get it ahead to Wicker, just 30 seconds remaining. Wicker looks, pulls, and sinks it! Wicker with the huge three. Coach Davis burns a timeout. I mean, it's still a 6-point game, but my gosh, what a hit from Wicker, especially when he's trying to sell the foul.
Colby Wicker, what a great shot right over Beatty, too. Not an easy look at all. Was trying to draw the foul, went to the floor. Good no call by the officials, but Wicker keeps this game alive. Davis still has a chance. 2-possession game.
And they've been so close on those steals, too. You got to imagine that's what Coach Davis is telling his guys right here. Keep hitting shots, getting those opportunities, and like I said, Farmington got to keep coming up with new stuff too, because they're going to be aware of what you want to try to do.
The only problem now is you're Davis. You had a little bit of time and you were able to try and get the steal before fouling previously. 24.8 seconds left. I don't know if you have enough time to try and force a steal in the backcourt and then foul. I think you might need to foul immediately now.
Yeah, we'll have to watch and see, and that's the hard part too, is I don't know who you foul on Farmington. Everyone's knocking them down.
Yeah, I mean, you've had Beatty knocking down big free throws, Larson knocking down big free throws. You've got Haskell, who's been hitting shots in the second half. This is a difficult, tall task for the Davis Darts if they want to come back in the final 25 seconds.
I mean, I'm sure they'd love for Nordquist to end up with it, but even Nordquist is a guy who, look, Coach Walkenhurt obviously trusts him in these situations, so we'll see what they do. 24 seconds to go. Haskell looking, gotta get it in, and burns a timeout. Oh, that was close, Brian.
Haskell gets the timeout called. Remind me, I could be wrong on this one, JT, but I think Haskell has the entire baseline to run there, and I'm not sure why he was just keeping himself because he had an outlet pass out into the front court, but he couldn't throw it because the ball would have hit the back of the backboard.
Yeah, perfectly said, exactly, because they were breaking deep, they were forcing it up, so, man, tough situation, and Phoenix got to get it in now. We talked about, though, Davis was going to change up what they do defensively because they've seen what he tried to do twice now. We'll see if Coach Walker and his team drawn up differently. You see Beatty really imploring his teammates and firing up, saying we got this, so we'll see. 24 seconds to go.
Well, and you also wonder how many timeouts Phoenix has left right now.
Looks like we had a 7-on-7 training camp going here. Johnson breaks open and is fouled.
So Farmington runs the picket fence at half court to get the inbounds play. Now go to the free throw line.
And Darts, like you said, you have to foul right away pretty much with this much time. We'll see now. If Johnson knocks these down, even with the three, we'll see. I got to imagine if you're Davis, you want Wicker taking this again, but...
I mean, ideally, yeah, you'd like to see Wicker taking it, but I don't think if you're Davis, you have the luxury of trying to find your best shooter. You're just trying to get a shot up at this point.
So
got
59.
Cole Johnson at the line, hits a free throw.
Bringing it up the floor. Wicker settles. Too strong. Atwater doesn't hang on for it. Farmington grabs it, but a travel as Haskell hits the floor with it.
Haskell collects that loose ball, goes to the ground, gets whistled for the travel. So we'll keep the ball here. Davis basketball.
67-59. Dart's got to go quickly, and they turn it over. A fitting end to a disappointing second half for Davis.
I think that turnover for the Darts will do it. They're going to keep the full court pressure on here. I imagine they're still going to foul, but that'll about close the door on any comeback attempt.
Davis in kind of that defeated mode as Beatty going to be fouled. Davis student section is just going through every sport that they've beaten Farmington in, and Farmington just relishing in the current victory that they're going to hang on to with 11 seconds remaining.
It's fun when you get two rival fan bases like this. You can always tell who's winning based on who's focused on the more current game.
Yes. 67-59. Beatty. Davis has moved on to bowling now. We're going through the entire sports cycle, Brian.
Wait till they start talking about that Ultimate Frisbee Championship, man.
Beatty knocks it down again. How about Beatty? We talked about Larson and Haskell in the third quarter as Darts turn it over again, but Larson and Haskell in the third, and Beatty is the best player on this Phoenix team and showed you exactly why as soon as the fourth quarter hit.
Well, that's what you need from your best player, from your most consistent player, is you need him to come through in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line, and that's exactly what Beatty has done. Got into foul trouble early in this game, had to sit a few minutes, only played 10 minutes in the first half, but he has completely changed the outlook of this Farmington Phoenix team on both ends of the floor in the second half.
A little surprised to see Davis continuing to foul, but I mean, it ain't over till it's over. So we'll send, I don't think the Phoenix are complaining by any means. I mean, we talked about Johnson's shooting percentage in the first half. He's like, give me some more points at the line right now. I'll take it.
Hey, wherever you can get the points, it doesn't matter as long as the ball goes in the hole.
Got to give all the credit to Coach Walkenhurt, too, for the job his team just did, firing his guys up, getting them ready to go in the second half, trailing by 11 to then win by 11, barring the last second shot. Wicker pulls up. Oh, backboard, and that's ball game. Phoenix take it inside the Darts Arena.
Just a great win by the Farmington Phoenix. They retain their position, third in Region 1, or I guess fifth in Region 1 here. They might move up after defeating third place Davis. But really, really fun game here tonight. Davis controlled the action in the first half, and then Farmington came out. They made some adjustments at halftime, and it was Phoenix ball, Phoenix game for the final 16 minutes.
Farmington faithful ready to storm the court. I don't know if they're gonna let them. They're holding their guys back right now, but what a win for Farmington. Well, I'm interested to see if they'll try to storm at the middle of the Davis logo, but hard-fought game back and forth. But once again, they go from trailing by 11, our halftime score was 31-20, to winning by 11, and that's why they can storm the court victorious.
High school sports, man. How great is this? This is the best night these kids will ever have until tomorrow night. It's amazing.
What a scene here. The Davis band trying to play to drown out Farmington, but what a performance by the Phoenix. Once again going down the line. It was Paul Beatty in this fourth quarter gotten it done. Braden Larson also phenomenal in that third after not scoring in the first. Then you look at other guys too. Jaden Haskell in the second quarter came to life, carried that over into the third. And Coach Walkenhurt and his team get that massive win, improving to 12-6 on the season. Your final thoughts on Farmington, Brian?
Yeah, all the credit in the world to Farmington, the way they were able to adjust. Davis, this is a good basketball team, and you can't hang your head about a loss like this tonight. Farmington just started to hit some shots, and sometimes in basketball, it just comes down to made shots and missed shots. When a team gets hot, there's not a lot that you can do about it. So I think both of these teams are going to be around in 6A Region 1 as the season winds down. Really, really fun game tonight. It was a pleasure being here.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It was great having you on the call as well, Brian. And man, it's a bummer these teams only play twice. I'll tell you what, because between these two games, I wouldn't mind another one if it came down to that in the postseason. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But once again, your final 70-59. The Phoenix come into the Darks house and take them down. Farmington wins it on KSL Sports Rewind. Have a great night, everyone.